This is Heidi's team, Simon.
I know, I'm just saying welcome.
I know, he's just very excited about everyone who's on my team.
I said you're doing well.
I know I am.
You are.
You're a little bit jealous. And I'm very excited. This is Darci Lynne, everyone!
When a 12-year-old girl from Oklahoma walked onto the America's Got Talent stage with a pink bunny puppet in 2017, nobody expected she would change the face of ventriloquism forever. This wasn't just another talented kid with a cute act. This was the performance that would earn her a golden buzzer, shatter voting records, and transform a shy girl into one of the most successful act winners in the show's history. What happened to Darci Lynne Farmer after that incredible victory shocked everyone, launching a career that continues thriving 8 years later and proving that sometimes the most unlikely talents create the most extraordinary stars. Her journey from painfully shy pageant contestant to multimillionaire touring artist with her own Netflix film is nothing short of remarkable. Darci Lynne Farmer was an undeniable force from the moment Petunia opened her mouth to sing. With her phenomenal vocal range, masterful ventriloquism skills, and magnetic stage presence that belied her young age, this Oklahoma City native commanded attention in a way that transcended typical child performer novelty acts. Born on October 12, 2004, to parents Clark and Misty Farmer, Darci grew up loving to sing but paralyzed by crippling shyness that prevented her from performing in front of audiences. The obstacles she faced, from severe social anxiety to skeptics who dismissed ventriloquism as a dying art form, could have crushed her dreams before they began. But behind the $1 million prize and sold-out tours lay a story of overcoming fear through an unlikely friendship with puppets. A family that sacrificed everything to support her gift, and determination that turned vulnerability into her greatest strength. From winning act with the most votes in finale history to headlining Vegas at age 13 to releasing solo music at 20, Darci's transformation proves that embracing what makes you different can lead to extraordinary success. Join us as we tell you what really happened to Darci Lynne Farmer from America's Got Talent. The atmosphere in the AT auditorium was buzzing with anticipation as 12-year-old Darci Lynne walked nervously onto that massive stage, clutching her pink rabbit puppet Petunia close to her chest. This was her moment, the culmination of just 3 years of ventriloquism training that began with an unexpected encounter at a pageant. Her parents Clark and Misty sat in the audience alongside her 3 brothers Nate, Dalton, and Nick, their hearts pounding as they watched their daughter face her biggest fear. Judges Mel B., Heidi Klum, Howie Mandel, and Simon Cowell leaned forward with curiosity as this young girl introduced herself and explained how she'd discovered ventriloquism. Host Tyra Banks encouraged her warmly, sensing the nervousness radiating from this sweet Oklahoma kid. What the judges didn't know was the remarkable journey that brought Darci to this exact moment. Growing up, she loved singing but was held back by paralyzing shyness that made performing in front of others feel impossible. Her parents encouraged her to overcome this fear by entering the 2014 International Cinderella Scholarship Program, a talent-based pageant where she was crowned International Mini-Miss. At that pageant, 10-year-old Darci met international teen title holder Larissa Bonaquisti, a young ventriloquist whose performance captivated her completely. Something clicked in Darci's mind that day. If she could sing through a puppet, maybe the puppet could be brave for her. Maybe she could find her voice through someone else's mouth. For her 10th birthday, her parents surprised Darci with her first puppet. After just 1 month of preparation using tips from Bonaquisti, she entered Edmonds Got Talent in 2014 and won first prize. Ventriloquist coach Gary Owen was so impressed by her natural ability that he offered to become her trainer and business manager on the spot. Together with vocal coach Tiana Plemons, they developed Darci's raw talent into something truly extraordinary. But standing on the act stage in 2017, none of that training mattered if she couldn't deliver when it counted most. When the music started and Darci began performing Ella Fitzgerald's jazz standard Summertime, something magical happened. Petunia's mouth moved in perfect synchronization with a voice so pure, so powerful, so professionally executed that the entire auditorium fell into stunned silence. This wasn't just impressive for a 12-year-old. This was world-class ventriloquism combined with legitimate vocal talent that would be remarkable at any age. Darci's lips barely moved as Petunia belted out complex jazz runs, and sustained notes that sent chills racing down spines. The audience sat transfixed, many with mouths hanging open in disbelief, unable to process what they were witnessing. As the final note hung in the air, the reaction was instantaneous and explosive. The entire audience leaped to their feet in thunderous applause. All 4 judges stood immediately, clapping with genuine enthusiasm that couldn't be manufactured. Mel B had tears streaming down her face, visibly moved by what she'd just experienced. Howie Mandel was shaking his head in amazement. A huge smile plastered across his face. Heidi Klum looked stunned, her hands pressed to her chest. Even notoriously difficult Simon Cowell stood applauding, clearly impressed by this unexpected talent. The judges' comments overflowed with authentic praise. Howie spoke first, his voice filled with excitement. "That was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. You're like Siri, only better." Heidi gushed about Darci's incredible voice and the seamless ventriloquism that made it impossible to see her lips move. Simon called it one of his favorite auditions ever, praising both the singing quality and the technical skill required to pull it off. Then Mel B stood up, walked toward the stage, and said something that would change Darci's life forever. "I'm going to do something I've wanted to do all day long," she announced as her hand slammed down on the golden buzzer. Gold confetti exploded from the ceiling as Darci jumped up and down, screaming with joy and disbelief. Petunia bounced excitedly as Darci's family rushed onto the stage, engulfing her in hugs and tears. Mel B came up to embrace this young girl who'd just earned an automatic pass to the live shows. The moment was pure, unfiltered emotion captured on national television. Darci, who'd been so shy she could barely perform in front of others just 3 years earlier, had just received a golden buzzer on the biggest talent show in America. Social media exploded immediately after the audition aired. The video went viral across YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, racking up millions of views within days. Comments flooded in from around the world, with viewers praising her incredible talent, her endearing personality, and the emotional power of watching someone overcome their fears so publicly. Parents showed the video to their children as inspiration. Ventriloquism enthusiasts celebrated this young prodigy, bringing attention to their art form. Music lovers analyzed her vocal technique, shocked that such a mature, controlled voice came from a 12-year-old singing with her mouth closed. The hashtags trended, reaction videos poured in, and suddenly Darci Lynne wasn't just a talented kid from Oklahoma City, she was becoming a national sensation. But the journey was far from over, and what came next would test everything she'd built. The pressure of competition intensified as Darci advanced through the live shows. Critics began questioning whether her act had staying power, or if the novelty would wear off after repeated performances. Some viewers dismissed ventriloquism as outdated entertainment, doubting whether America would actually vote for a ventriloquist over more contemporary acts like singers, dancers, and comedians. Behind the scenes, Darci struggled with imposter syndrome, wondering if she deserved all the attention and praise being heaped upon her. She was still just a kid trying to navigate the overwhelming experience of national fame, while competing against talented performers much older and more experienced. What America's Got Talent didn't show viewers was the incredible sacrifice Darci's entire family made to support her dreams. Her father, Clark, continued working to provide stability, while her mother, Misty, became Darci's constant companion on the road, managing schedules, handling logistics, and providing emotional support through every high and low. Her 3 brothers cheered her on from home, proud of their little sister, even as family life revolved increasingly around her career. The financial investment in coaches, puppets, costumes, and travel to competitions across the country represented a huge leap of faith for a middle-class Oklahoma family. Darci also faced criticism that stung deeply despite her outward confidence. Online commenters accused her of being a trained puppet herself, suggesting her parents or coaches were exploiting her talent for profit. Some claimed her act was gimmicky and wouldn't translate beyond the act bubble. Others questioned whether she was actually singing, or if the voice was pre-recorded, a particularly hurtful accusation given the thousands of hours she'd spent training her voice. For a 12-year-old girl still developing her sense of self, reading these harsh comments took a serious emotional toll. The technical challenges of ventriloquism added another layer of difficulty. Unlike singers who could simply belt out notes, Darci had to maintain perfect lip control while hitting complex vocal runs, manage puppet movements that looked natural and believable, develop distinct character voices and personalities for each puppet, and project confidence even when feeling terrified inside. One mistake in any of these areas could ruin an entire performance. The pressure was immense, and there were moments when Darci questioned whether she wanted to continue. But her coach Gary Owen and vocal trainer Tiana Plemons never let her give up. They reminded her that she had a gift, something rare and special that the world needed to see. Her family's unwavering belief in her potential provided the foundation she needed to keep pushing forward. Darci responded to critics the only way she knew how, by preparing even harder for her next performance and letting her talent speak louder than any hateful comments ever could. It was during the quarterfinals on September 5, 2017 that Darci truly silenced critics and cemented her place as a legitimate contender for the egg-shaped crown. She introduced America to Oscar, a shy and soulful mouse with a completely different personality and voice than Petunia. Her song choice was brilliant. The Jackson 5 feats Who's Lovin' You, a Motown classic that required incredible vocal control, emotional maturity, and range that most adult singers struggle to achieve. As the music started and Oscar began to sing, something extraordinary unfolded on that stage. Oscar's voice emerged rich and soulful, hitting notes with precision that seemed impossible for a 12-year-old to produce while maintaining perfect ventriloquism technique. Darci poured genuine emotion into every phrase, making the audience feel Oscar's heartbreak and vulnerability. She hit runs and vocal flourishes that sent the crowd into frenzy. People were standing, recording on their phones, crying openly as they witnessed this small girl create magic with a mouse puppet and her remarkable voice. The technical skill required to execute this performance at such a high level while managing the puppet's movements and facial expressions was simply phenomenal. When the final note faded, all 4 judges exploded out of their seats in a simultaneous standing ovation. Howie Mandel leaped up immediately, shouting his approval. Mel B had tears streaming down her face again, overcome with pride for her Golden Buzzer recipient. Heidi Klum clapped enthusiastically, shaking her head in amazement. Simon Cowell stood with his arms crossed, nodding in respect for what he'd just witnessed. Their comments overflowed with superlatives. Howie called it one of the best performances he'd ever seen on any talent show anywhere. Mel B praised Darci's growth from the audition, noting how she continued raising the bar with each appearance. Heidi marveled at the different characters and voices, impressed by Darci's versatility and creativity. Simon, never one for excessive praise, admitted this was a genuinely world-class act that could headline shows anywhere in the world. He predicted she would make it all the way to the finals and possibly win the entire competition. Social media absolutely erupted after this performance. Twitter and Instagram flooded with reactions, hashtags about Darci trending worldwide. Viewers called it the best performance of the season, with many declaring she'd already won regardless of future voting results. Music critics wrote articles analyzing her vocal, technique, and ventriloquism skills, comparing her favorably to established professionals in both fields. The performance video racked up millions of views within hours, introducing Darci to international audiences who'd missed her earlier appearances. Major news outlets picked up the story, profiling this remarkable young girl from Oklahoma who was captivating America week after week. For her semifinals performance, Darci introduced yet another character, Edna, a sarcastic old woman with impeccable comedic timing who sang opera. She tackled O Mio Bino Caro, a technically demanding aria that requires years of classical training to perform correctly. Standing on that stage with Edna, Darci delivered flawless opera with her mouth closed, hitting notes that professional opera singers struggle to reach. The judges stood again, the audience went wild again, and Darci secured her spot in the EGFI finals. The finale performance on September 20th, 2017 brought everything full circle. Darci sang a duet with Season 2 act winner and fellow ventriloquist Terry Fader, performing Anything You Can Do from the musical Annie Get Your Gun. Though she stumbled slightly on the opening line, she recovered immediately and delivered a performance that showcased how far she'd come since that nervous audition just months earlier. The energy was electric, the vocal runs were spectacular, and the chemistry between the two ventriloquists reminded everyone why this art form could still captivate millions. When host Tyra Banks announced the results, Darci Lynne was crowned the winner of America's Got Talent Season 12. She beat out incredible talent, including 10-year-old singing sensation Angelica Hale, light show dance group Light Balance, deaf singer Mandy Harvey, and dog act Sarah and Hero. NBC later revealed that Darci had received more votes in the finale than any performance in AGT history up to that point. At just 12 years old, she claimed the $1 million prize, a headlining show at Planet Hollywood, Las Vegas. Today, at 20 years old, Darci Lynne has built an entertainment empire that most performers spend lifetimes trying to achieve. She headlined that Las Vegas residency at age 13, becoming one of the youngest headliners in Vegas history. Her 2018 NBC Christmas special Darci Lynne, My Hometown Christmas, featured collaborations with Toby Keith, Kristen Chenoweth, Pentatonix, and other major stars, reaching over 9 million households and showcasing her ability to carry a television special. She embarked on massive nationwide tours, including Darci Lynne and Friends Live and Fresh Out of the Box, performing to sold-out theaters across America and Canada. In 2019, Darci returned to compete on America's Got Talent, The Champions, where she finished as runner-up behind magician Shin Lim. Though she didn't win, the experience allowed her to perform alongside the best talent from AGT franchises worldwide. She returned again in 2024 for America's Got Talent, Fantasy League, competing on Judge Heidi Klum's team and reaching the semifinals. Her multiple act appearances kept her connected to the show that launched her career while introducing her to new generations of fans. Darci expanded into acting with her role in the 2022 Netflix film A Cowgirl's Song, playing Brooke Mays in a story about an aspiring country singer. She wrote and performed the song Just Breathe for the soundtrack alongside Oklahoma recording artists Maggie McClure and Shane Henry, marking her entry into original music composition. The experience of filmmaking opened new creative avenues and demonstrated her versatility beyond ventriloquism. Her career evolution took a dramatic turn in 2024 when Darci decided to pursue solo music without her puppets. She released her debut single Push Our Luck in February 2024, a coming-of-age country song based on her real experience pushing curfew boundaries with a boyfriend. During her Fantasy League appearance, she boldly performed this original song without any puppets, just herself, her voice, and her vulnerability on full display. The decision shocked some fans who'd fallen in love with Petunia, Oscar, and Edna, but most applauded her courage to grow beyond the act that made her famous. Even Simon Cowell praised her willingness to take risks for her artistic evolution. Darci graduated from Deer Creek High School in May 2023 and moved into her own apartment with her best friend, learning to navigate adult life while maintaining her performance career. She's currently touring the country on her 2025 Up Close and Personal tour, bringing her blend of ventriloquism, solo singing, comedy, and clean family entertainment to theaters nationwide. The tour features Petunia, Oscar, and Edna alongside Darci's solo performances, giving audiences both the puppet characters they love and the maturing artist she's becoming. Her social media following continues growing exponentially. She maintains active presence across Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, connecting with hundreds of thousands of fans who've supported her journey from 12-year-old act contestant to 20-year-old professional entertainer. She's performed at the legendary Grand Ole Opry multiple times, appeared on major talk shows including The Ellen DeGeneres Show and The Kelly Clarkson Show, and earned nominations including recognition at the Daytime Emmy Awards for her work. Financially, Darci has used her $1 million prize money and substantial touring income wisely, investing in her career, supporting her family, and building long-term security. She remains grounded despite her success, crediting her parents for keeping her humble and focused on continual growth rather than resting on past achievements. Her message to aspiring performers emphasizes perseverance, authenticity, and never letting fear prevent you from sharing your gifts with the world. She's dated Kendon Reed, a University of Oklahoma student and former high school valedictorian, showing glimpses of normal young adult life alongside her extraordinary career. She's learning guitar and piano, expanding her musical versatility and songwriting capabilities. Future music releases are planned, with Darci exploring various genres from country to pop to rock, refusing to be locked into any single style. She describes her creative process as organic, writing songs based on real experiences rather than chasing trends. Darci has been credited with single-handedly reviving ventriloquism as a respected art form and making it a female-driven force in entertainment. Her success opened doors for other young ventriloquists and proved that so-called dying art forms can thrive when presented with fresh talent and authentic passion. She maintains her relationship with the ACT family, frequently returning for guest performances and special appearances that remind viewers of the magic she created during Season 12. Darci Lynne Farmer's incredible journey from painfully shy pageant contestant to ACT champion to multifaceted entertainer proves that talent combined with determination, family support, and willingness to be vulnerable can overcome any obstacle. She didn't just win America's Got Talent with record-breaking votes, she won something far more valuable: a sustainable career built on genuine talent, authentic connection with audiences, and courage to evolve beyond the act that made her famous. Mel B was right to press that golden buzzer. Simon was right to predict her success. And Darci was right to trust that singing through puppets could help her find the brave voice that was inside her all along. Thank you so much for joining us on this remarkable journey through Darci Lynne's transformation from shy Oklahoma girl to entertainment powerhouse. What do you think about Darci's incredible evolution from child ventriloquist to solo artist? Which of her performances resonates most with you, the original Petunia audition that started it all, her stunning Oscar quarterfinals performance, or her brave solo debut with Push Our Luck? Let us know in the comments below. And which talent show contestant should we cover next? Drop your suggestions and we'll dive deep into their inspiring stories too. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss another uplifting story about talented performers who capture our hearts and prove that dreams have no age limits. As for Darci Lynne, her story is far from over. And we absolutely cannot wait to see what incredible heights this multi-talented young woman reaches next in her already extraordinary career.